Um, Great question. I think this was always on my radar of places that I thought I might end up. Growing up in Texas, in North Texas, I had a lot of friends that came down here and never left. So I got to come and visit them and experience what they were all talking about. When I was living out in California for quite a long time, got married, had a few kids, or well, had my first child. When we had our first child, that was kind of the kick in the pants that I think my wife and I needed to say, okay, where do we really want to be and where do we want to plant our roots and stuff like that. And coming back home to Texas, being around family, being around friends, was just a priority for us, and this was just kind of the natural first choice. And when we got here, our dream of opening and doing a craft brewery followed us, and when we got here and landed, we took a look around us, the landscape of what the industry was doing here. We thought that it would be a good viable option, and so we thought we'd take a chance, and here we are. So the idea for a brewery kind of began with my brother-in-law Gino. He was living out in California with us in the guest house. He was finishing school, and kind of in our off time when we were just hanging out, we'd go in the backyard and we'd try to brew our own beer, and it was horrible. And our friends were very kind to us and said that it wasn't. And I think that the whole art of crafting something like that and making our own product was really something that we got into. Gino kind of took it to the next level. He went up and did some classes up at UC Davis, then went on to Chicago to the Siebel Institute, got some certifications, and so that was, I think that really sparked the fire that we needed to move forward and get really interested in it. And then it was a lot of research, we'll call it.
Drinking?
Well, visiting other craft breweries and speaking with a lot of people who are in the industry and getting to know as much as we could, which is never enough. I mean, I've talked to people who have been who have been home brewers or even professional brewers for decades, and the amount of knowledge that's accessible is more than you could learn in a lifetime. So I appreciate that aspect of it, and I think that's the fact that it's not something that you just kind of come to the end to was something that was attractive to me. I'm sure they're amazing, and I hope that they are making delicious beers. I'm sure they are. My experience has been so far within the craft beer industry has not been a competitive one. Sure, I think there's a standard that is preached and talked about quite often, and that's quality. People are very protective of the quality that is produced within this industry. But as far as competitiveness, it's one of the rare industries that doesn't have a whole lot of that, if at all. At least I haven't seen it and I haven't felt it. The people that we've talked to, the brewers, the owners, even the bartenders, have all been very willing to give us advice and give us some of the hurdles that they had to jump over in order to get where they've been. And I appreciate that. That's an industry that I want to be a part of. Somebody that, a place that's willing to collaborate before they're willing to compete.
Yeah.
And I like that. I mean, we didn't set out to create a unique thing that is different from other places. We just set out to create a place that we would want to go to. We set out to make beer that we would want to drink. And if that makes us unique, then that's awesome. But I think at the end of the day, if people come out here and they take a look around and they enjoy the land and they enjoy the beer and the food and the music and just the fellowship that happens out here, I think that in itself will be a unique experience to whoever decides to walk through these doors. Ooh, I'm going to steal a comment from our head brewer, Nate Seal. He says that all of the beers are like children. It's hard to pick a favorite. But you can. So my favorite is, I'm going to, my favorite right now, let's put it that, because it kind of changes, and I think that's one of the reasons why I love the variety of beers we make, is because my taste does kind of change. It depends on like what kind of season or whatever it is. But right now, I'm really enjoying the King Biscuit, the English style bitters. Well, as little as I try to not know. I'm just at work. I'm here trying to do as much as I can when I'm here. I was, as far as the brewing goes, the last batch that I brewed was a winter warmer, which is a seasonal beer that we brewed, that Nate and I brewed together a few weeks back. So that was the last brew that I did here on property. Most of it has been, like I was talking earlier, cleaning the bathroom. I was just hanging a mirror in the employees' bathroom. I was out here stringing lights all last week. You know, when you're an owner, you're kind of a utility player. It's doing whatever needs to get done. It's hard to say. You know, we have a pretty wide reach. You know, the show has been on for quite a long time, and it's an international show. So, you know, the person who posts, "Hey, I can't wait to come and check out your brewery," if I ever make it to America, is probably not going to be a fixture at the bar. But we hope that they do come to America. We hope that they do come and check us out. So, you know, as far as like a supernatural crowd, I think that'll ebb and flow as kind of we move forward. But I certainly hope that if it does bring someone out here to enjoy what we've created out here, then I'll take it. When it comes to, I guess, having a drink, there was one episode years ago. It was a holiday. It was a Christmas episode, and at the end of the episode, we're supposed to have a little cheers with some eggnog, and Jared thought that it would be appropriate to pour a real eggnog, and he got pretty heavy-handed with mine, and I just thought it was going to be non-alcoholic. I should have known better, because I know him well enough to know better. So it was a stiff kind of punch in the face with the camera on me, but I think I hit it well, maybe too well. We've had a lot of good music on our show. One of the reasons why I love doing the show and why it appealed to me in the very beginning was the soundtrack to it. There's been a lot of really good music cues over the years. One of my favorite, I think, would be Renegade, Styx. I think the episode was, I'm going to butcher the name, so I'm not going to say it. I'm going to say it. I forget what episode.
You're not under
We've
oath.
done like
okay.
over 260 episodes. I forget what it is. Ooh,
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Sam.
A pale ale.
Dean.
A stout.
John Winchester.
An imperial stout.
Mary Winchester.
A pilsner.
Bobby Singer.
A whiskey.
Castile.
A water.
Lucifer.
Ooh. An extra special bitters.
Crowley.
A sour.
Ruby.
A red.
And Charlie.
Ooh, she should have been the red. You put her as the red, and we'll do Ruby as a saison. Ate a lot, and that was my fault. I should have been more cautious because they continue to write that in. So I would say nowadays I'm a little bit more picky about when I take that bite or when I take that sip, because I know I'll have to match it for the next 8 camera setups. So I still do it, but I just do it a little bit more conservatively. Thanks for covering us. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for showing an interest. You know, we've worked for a couple of years trying to make this dream happen, and we're kind of finally here, and it's really exciting. So we're happy to be here.